Hi, my name is Nikki and I'm a counsellor and psychotherapist, and I work a lot with teenagers. I'm here to talk to you about some of the issues that you might find that you're dealing with as a teenager, and to hopefully give you some tips that might be useful. So you're wondering how to handle difficult parents. First of all, just wonder how your parents are difficult, because difficult can range from parents that are actually, abusive and that you can be in danger with, never, that will be violent or, otherwise harmful, in which case to handle a parent like that, you're going to need to have someone else help you, because that will require kind of adults and other adults to support you, whether it's social services or friends or another adult. But if you're talking about difficulties which are the more usual difficulties that parents and young, and teenagers can get into, is more around communication and how well, or not all, how badly people listen to each other. So if I'm assuming that your difficulties are more around that your parents aren't listening well to you, and that there's a lot of shouting maybe, or there's a lot of arguments in the family or between you and your parents, and that is causing you a problem because there's a lot of tension in the house and things are quite difficult. So how does it affect you? How does the difficulty with your parents affect you? Is it causing you stress? Does it mean that you feel you can never communicate well with your parents, or your relationship with them has gone downhill and you want to improve things? I mean, there can be a time where the atmosphere in a family, in a house, in the family can feel like a battlefield, and you might need some tips to just work out how to negotiate and come through the kind of battle with your parents. So just some tips to ease kind of communication with parents that are difficult. I mean, the main thing would be that if you're having a situation where there's a lot of shouting and people aren't being very respectful to one another, is that you need to find a way of trying to calm yourself. We can't calm someone else, but we can certainly calm ourselves and try and encourage the other person to respond better to us. So the most effective way of calming is to take deep breaths. Deep breaths, count to 10. Try and find a time where it feels best to talk to your parents about the difficulties you're having with them. Find a time when you're calm, when you know that they're more likely to listen, when there's perhaps less people around. And then talk to them about what you feel, what's been going on for you, and be specific, give examples. Say, talk about a time where you and them were just having a row and how it left you feeling, and be responsible for your part in it too. Acknowledge, that you might have lost your cool just as much as they did, and that you want something different from you and them. And don't blame. I mean, the things that really get in the way of good communication is if people attack each other. I don't mean physically, although obviously that is going to get in the way, but verbally attack each other, blame each other, or get defensive. So it's about trying to be the opposite, trying to drop your barriers and be calm and be assertive, but kind of clear without being aggressive or hostile. So try and be yourself, be specific, as I said, and prepare a good argument. Explain to them what it is that's going on and how you're feeling, and the kind of relationship you would prefer to have with them. And see what they want, see how it makes them feel, ask them, or at least listen to them when they explain what it's like for them and what's been causing them, whatever's been getting in the way of their relationship with you is usually on both sides. Both people are usually contribute to a relationship not being difficult. And prepare for kind of arguments they might put up. You know your parents well by now, so you can predict some of what they might say. So just have a think about how you might answer before you go in and talk to them. And then negotiate a kind of compromise. There may be a compromise. You may decide that there are times when you feel so kind of wound up that you need to just walk away and then come back to the argument. And it may be when you walk away that winds them up. So just tell them that that's what you need at the time, and that you'll come back and you can talk calmly to them after. Listen to their view and try to understand it. Have they got is there something that's useful in what they're telling you, but also really help them understand your view. If they're not listening, ask them, just repeat it, but not by shouting at them, but just by reminding them that there's something important in what you're saying and that you want them to know. It's important for you to know, for them to listen to you around this particular topic. If none of this helps, and if the same habits continue because often parents and their children can fall into habits of talking to each other which are quite disrespectful. So it may mean that you need to get someone else in to help you out, whether it's someone in the family that you trust or that your parents think highly of, an aunt, an uncle or an older brother or sister, and seeing if they could have a one-to-one with your parent. That might help too. If the problem remains and your parents' style of communicating with you is still really difficult, then maybe you need to find another way around the problem. You can call Childline. Childline is there and is available as a confidential telephone counselling helpline for anyone up until the age of 18. So reach out to other people if the problem remains, and hopefully the more times you try and communicate what you're feeling calmly and respectfully to your parents, they might reciprocate in the same way. So keep trying and good luck.